We're ready to rumble. from the largest and finest high school field house in the world. We're in Newcastle, Indiana. It is time for game number 2 of the Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic on the ISC Sports Network. Today, the ladies edition, game number 1. Warsaw won in more than convincing fashion. Winner of this game gets them. Loser of this game has the quick turn for the 6 o'clock consolation game against Evansville Central. It is Norwell, last year's 3A champs, against the Plainfield Quakers. Today's game on ISC, presented in part by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley, and we're still kind of in awe of what Warsaw accomplished. And frankly, if there is a team that is like Warsaw in this state, it might be Norwell. Norwell, that's their one loss so far in the season. A loss to Warsaw back in November the 8th.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the defensive display we saw from Warsaw in the first game, we'll see more of that from Norwell. They're really aggressive defensively, put on some excellent full court pressure. The pressure's on Plainfield here. Can their guards handle that pressure and try and push the pace a little bit against this Norwell team?
Well, Norwell is a very unique story in that they bring back every player from last year's state championship team. They made back-to-back state championship games in 3A, basically with flipping the roster from the season before. Because they have made back-to-back 3A games, they're in 4A this year, and they're right now ranked number 1, even with that loss to Warsaw back on November the 8th. And in my mind, of the last, say, 12, 13 years, Kristen, that we have had the success factor, I don't think we have had a school that has played up that has won the largest classification. Norwell absolutely has a shot to do that this year.
Yeah, and it's wild to think about. You know, you mentioned the turnover there on the rosters, and I remember last year prepping for those state finals and talking to some of those Norwell players and, you know, them being so composed and experienced as sophomores and juniors because they had been in that moment before. So, you know, you talk about the success factor, and I think that's one thing that no matter what class you're in, experience makes a difference.
For Plainfield, they have had a good run of success the last couple of years. This group, as freshmen and sophomores, kind of got to play in a semi-state 2 years ago. Then geography got them. They got moved into the same sectional as Pike. Pike, outstanding, and Pike is likely the best team in the Indianapolis area in terms of 4A. But they've got a very experienced team. They're 9-3, which is good. Frankly, those 3 losses are all against top area teams. It's an experienced and composed Plainfield Quaker squad.
Yeah, similar to that Warsaw schedule we were talking about in game 1. You know, they really are going to have the experience of playing against some really solid teams when you get into the postseason. You know, obviously once we get into those regional semi-state finals, it becomes anyone's game. It's a one-game takes all, and yeah, at that point, you're just fighting to stay in it, Greg.
Star player is Hannah Menser, and again, you hear that name, you think of this building, you think of her dad, Michael, who was a phenomenal player at Batesville and Indiana State. Hannah's committed to play for Brady Sally at Ball State. She is just a junior. 17 points, 4 rebounds a game, and 35% from three-point range.
Yeah, she's just a consistent scoring leader. She can take over the ball offensively with drive. She also can knock it down from the perimeter, making her that dual threat that's even more hard to slow down.
Well, again, this is more than just basketball. This is an honor. You only have to play in this once every 4 years, and so to get selected to play here deserves some special recognition. We get that before the game. Let's turn it over to our public address voice in Chad Nickum.
Welcome to Newcastle High School, home of the world's largest and finest high school field house for the 2025 Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic. And today's second game featuring the Norwell Knights and the Plainfield Quakers. At this time, if you would please welcome Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame members Brian Humphreys, Terry Magnuson, and Teresa Wen as they present plaques to our officials for today's second game, Caleb Dunkerley, Greg Kirkham, and Scott Wilson. And now, please welcome Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame member Cindy Lester as she presents a plaque to Norwell head coach Eric Thornton. Also, please welcome Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame member Debbie Smiley as she presents a plaque to head coach of Plainfield, Kurt Bench. And now, fans, let's meet the rosters and starting lineups for both teams. First, let's meet the guest on the scoreboard, the Norwell Knights. Today, the roster includes number 11, Mia Kurtz, number 15, Larkin Smith, number 22, Haley Williamson, number 33, Jada Dale, number 34, Bella Swineford, and number 35, Daisy Swineford. Starting lineup now for the Knights at guard, a 5'7" senior, number 2, Addie Norris. Also at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 10, Ashley Waltman. At forward, a 5'11" junior, wearing number 12, Olivia Green. At guard, a 5'5" junior, number 24, Macy Salfrey. And at guard, a 5'10" senior, number 32, Vanessa Rosswer. The Knights are coached by Eric Thornton. And now, let's meet the home team on the scoreboard, the Plainfield Quakers. Today, the roster includes number 1, Shania Daniels, number 24, Caroline Armstrong, number 5, Emma Ryder, number 11, Mariah Armstrong, number 12, Krista Habercorn, number 20, Ayana Dasgupta, number 23, Kara O'Leonard. And now the starting lineup for the Quakers. At forward, a 6' senior, number 25, Caroline Pugh. At guard, a 5'8" junior, wearing number 31, Abrielle Dugan. At guard, a 5'5" junior, wearing number 3, Briley Todd. At guard, a 5'6" senior, number 4, Berkeley Williams. At a guard, a 5'9" junior, number 22, Hannah Metzer. The head coach of the Quakers, Kurt Bench.
Great job as always, Chad Nick. What a coaching matchup we have in terms of active coaches. Eric Thornton has won the 4th most games. He is sitting on 487 wins. You got to go all of 2 spots down on that list to find Kurt Bench. In his 31st year as a head coach, he has won 463 games in his career. Frankly, in this Hall of Fame Classic, we have Hall of Fame coach versus Hall of Fame coach.
Both coaches obviously having recent success with their program, but well-known names around the state, and I think they have prepared these two teams for an excellent matchup today.
Plainfield starts out in a man-to-man, and frankly, both these teams are similar in terms of how they play, similar in terms of build. This should be a really good one. This is Vanessa Rossworm. Averaged 22 points a game last year, averages 22 points a game this year. She is a potential Indiana All-Star. Steal by Menser, quickly wrestled back by Norwell. Rossworm going to play at Indiana Wesleyan. That ball was knocked off her leg out of bounds. It'll be Plainfield basketball.
Yeah, early on, we'll see a little bit of that, a little bit of sloppiness there from Norwell controlling the ball. Obviously, both teams trying to settle into this game, this stadium, and really what this means at the Hall of Fame Classic.
The 1-3-1 by Norwell. That is what they do defensively. That is a system. Everybody plays it well. Good quick hands taken away by the Knights. That's Macy Saul-Frank that got her hands on that one. Saul-Frank lines it up. Doesn't go, and then Berkeley Williams, the quick pull by Plainfield.
That's a good shot for Norwell. They love to get Saul-Frank into some space. A little quick there, but again, they like to transition and take the first best shot they can find.
We're going to play the comparison game. Both these teams have played Homestead. And Homestead played in this tournament last year, and again, they're thought to be amongst the best teams in the state. Norwell beat them by 13. That was on November the 18th. 4 days later, as Solfrank misses again, and Rossworm gets the rebound. Homestead then beat Plainfield by 22. So again, just to give you an idea of the comparison game. Plainfield very much battle-tested, though, being in Central Indiana, given the schedule they play. And Menser connects from three-point range for the game's first basket.
Confidence release there from Hannah Menser, and they're able to get on the board first. I think that outside shooting is going to play a role. And who takes this one home today?
2-1-2, the defensive alignment in the three-quarter court. Three rattled home for Norwell. That's Ashley Waldman averaging 5 points a contest that gets it to go. As a team, Norwell makes 9.5 threes per game. They shoot 34% from the line. Williams from the 16-foot line does not go, and Rossworm tracks it down.
Rossworm's done a nice job on the boards early on. She's one of those inside-out threats that can really find the board and then get you into transition there, able to find Solfrank for the three.
Well, we've already told you how many threes that Norwell makes. Now let's extrapolate how many they take. 28 threes per game. So in a 32-minute game, they're not shy about letting it go. Same for Menser. Touched last by Plainfield. That's off of Berkeley Williams. It'll be Norwell basketball. By the way, Plainfield makes 8.5 threes a game. So what you've seen for the last 2.5 minutes, you will see for the remainder of the game. These two teams will let it fire.
You know, you take that into consideration. If both these teams shoot the ball well from three, what's the difference maker there? And then you start to look at which team can find the more balanced scoring effort.
Menser a miss, but weak side rebound by Briley Todd. Abrielle Dugan's pass, tipped and taken away. Third Plainfield turnover. Rossworm a deep three, no. And the rebound by Caroline Pugh for Plainfield.
That one rims in and out, but again, it's the Norwell defense in this trap formation that's really just dominating.
Good recovery that time on the block by Addie Norris. Norris, 5'7" senior. Averaging 6 points a contest.
It's a great rotation over there by Addie Norris. No foul, great call.
Menser gets the friendly bounce. She's got both Plainfield buckets so far. And that'll be a foul against Berkeley Williams.
Pretty even on early on in this one. I think, you know, Plainfield obviously knocking down some early shots, but Norwell not far behind them at all. This is making up to be a good one.
Yeah, these are two top 15 teams. Norwell ranked number 1 in the class poll, and ranked number 1 in the coaches poll. Sagarin has them at 4. Plainfield number 12 in the 4A poll, number 13 in the coaches poll. Sagarin has them at 23. Ball deflected. Third Norwell giveaway. And then the Knights get it right back. And if you're on the floor, you have the green light. Asking for a block shot, and Norris kind of a wry smile towards the bench. Kind of saying, no, that was homemade.
Love the honesty.
Good to see both schools brought their cheerleaders for this game. Isn't always the case when it comes to the Christmas break events.
Now we got a really nice crowd on hand. Had a good one for the first game, but filling up more here for the second one as well.
Catch and shoot three by Solfrank, no. And frankly, these schools have played in venues like this because of what they have done postseason-wise. That's going to be a foul. We'll see if it's against Rossworm or player on the wing that made the contact. And it is against Vanessa Rossworm. Soon to be Indiana Wesleyan Wildcat commits her first foul. For Norwell, Olivia Green will rotate out. Isabella Swineford will check in. 6-foot junior. Not an overly big Plainfield team.
Now, and to that point, just taking a look at Vanessa Rossworm, and personally, I haven't seen her in person since the state finals last year, but she looks like she's put on some muscle. She looks like she maybe has an inch or two as well. So really developing more into an inside-out threat than she was last year.
Rossworm, catch and shoot three, buries it. Her first bucket of the game, and they have all been from three-point range in this game, and up and over is Williams' effort. Rossworm on the season, 32% from three-point range. 82% from the free throw line. And she and Salfrank combined for 38 of the 65 that Norwell scores on a game-by-game basis.
She also puts up really solid rebounding numbers, which is something they missed a little bit last year.
Shania Daniels in for the first time for the Quakers. 3 in the corner. No. Good weak side glass. Shania, 5'8" sophomore. Extra pass. Contested 3 that does not go. That was taken a miss by Mariah Armstrong. Armstrong, a 36% three-point shooter. Rossworm splits a second defender. Gets around to third. First 2-point field goal made by either side. Also largest lead for either team is now 5.
Yeah, you see right there why Rossworm is averaging over 20 points a game, draining the 3 and then coming back and attacking the paint, taking on 2 defenders for an easy finish.
Good job to wall up there against that baseline drive by Williams. Deep 3, Rossworm, yes. Again, Vanessa was the one player that was back from 2 years ago that was a part of the effort last year for Norwell as well. 30-second timeout is taken by Plainfield. All of a sudden, 8 consecutive points now have been scored by Norwell.
Well, 8 consecutive points by Vanessa Rossworm, period. I mean, 3-point drive to the hoop and another 3-pointer. That's the difference.
Today's game presented in part by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, the dedicated Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Like Nathan Begley to help guide you through the insurance process. You'll never have to go it alone. Talk to Nathan in person, online, or over the phone at 317-507-7871, or stop by his office at 9821 East U.S. Highway 36 in Avon. Nathan Begley and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Thank you, Jordan Shue. Thank you, Charlie Hammock, for your hard work on this Monday. 2 full days of basketball from here at Newcastle. Almost a turnover. Deep 3 does not go. That was Emma Ryder. And a foul called against the Quakers. So foul goes against Mariah Armstrong. Limited foul game so far. Part of that's because everybody's been shooting from 20 feet. A little half-court trap here by Plainfield, and Williams couldn't hang on to it.
And you see right there, we talked about pregame. Both of these teams really similar as far as their defensive pressure goes. Norwell seemed to have a bit of the turnover advantage early on, but now we see the pressure here from the Quakers as well.
Good read by Menser. 4th Norwell giveaway. Menser, the only Plainfield player to score just yet. Good ball movement by Plainfield. Williams off the window, no. Berkeley, 12.5 points, 3.5 rebounds a game.
Move it! Move it!
This is Jada Dale, first time we mentioned her name, and Menser on the steal. Menser goes right at her and misses. Saul Frank, again, did a good job of keeping her position, but Rossworm couldn't hang on to it. Daniels, nice move.
Yeah.
Nice stop.
That's a great move there by Shania Daniels on the post, just pivoting around the defender. A good finish there, and finally Plainfield rewarded for their defense.
That breaks that 8-0 run by Rossworm and Norwell. Catch and shoot by Rossworm, no, but Swineford at inside position, and one.
How about that? Isabella Swineford, the 6'1" junior, doing what she does best. So dangerous, getting the offensive board, trying to put it back up. She'll go to the line.
Normally her job is to rebound the ball and get it to a teammate, because she averages 5 boards a game. She averages 1.5 points a game.
Right.
But this time realizing, hey, I'm 2 feet away. Let's put this up off the square.
And now it's hard to argue with when, you know, Norwell's shooting the ball from behind the arc as well as they are.
Does not shoot a lot of free throws and left that one short. As a team, Norwell 65% from the line. Good hands. 6 Plainfield giveaway. Rossworm thought about the 23-footer. The step through, no. Swineford could not track it down. Dugan. It has to play kind of an undersized post at 5'8" for Plainfield. That is the issue they deal with. Not a lot of size in this Plainfield team. They turn it over.
Right. Because of not a lot of size, you talk about Plainfield's really the team that wants to push the tempo a bit. Norwell's great at playing up tempo, but they can also slow it down like we just kind of saw that possession and work it inside. So honestly, Plainfield trying to get out and find some of those transition buckets before some of that height can get set for Norwell.
Plainfield 5'10" and under. They'll get a little bit of help when Kara Olenek gets healthy. As Russworm, a deep three. She's got 11, and the lead is the same. Ball has to go up, not in time. An outstanding quarter by Norwell, and the strength of the 4A northern half of the bracket is on display today. Warsaw was our world in half of game number 1. Norwell leads by 11 after a quarter in game number 2. We're back in a moment as you're watching the Hall of Fame Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey & Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Back at Newcastle, Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you on ISC. Impressive opening quarter by Norwell. In their lone loss, Warsaw. They may have a chance to avenge that tonight. Good interior passing finds Mariah Armstrong for the bucket.
Yeah, not to put the cart in front of the horse quite yet, but that would be a very interesting matchup there. We've already seen the intensity from the Norwell defense, but Plainfield countering as well.
Menser with the steal. Good use of the left hand. Menser with 8. And a 30-second timeout taken by Norwell. So back-to-back buckets by Plainfield. In Plainfield, 3 losses. We had one of them at Ben Davis on November the 18th. Mentioned that a Homestead game 4 days later. Their other loss was to Center Grove. That was just a couple of weeks ago. So Plainfield comes in 9-3. Norwell again, and what's always unique when you have a team that moves up a classification is where do they slot in terms of the tournament. Well, Norwell is in sectional 6, which means they're in the same sectional as Homestead, which again played much like Norwell, almost all juniors last year. So those two teams are very familiar with one another, and they've already played for their regular season meeting, a game that Norwell won at home by 13. So it's possible Norwell can make a very deep run in 4A. It's possible to go in the first week.
Yeah.
We'll kind of find out as things play out.
That's what we love about the postseason basketball, though, especially here in Indiana.
Rossworm, nice move, left it short. Good rebound. Oh, pulled down by Green. Corner 3 a bit strong. The save, but to a Plainfield player. Good find by Menser, and that'll be a foul. Late whistle, but right call.
Yeah.
Blocking foul called against Addie Norris.
Yeah, Addie Norris trying to rotate over there and just cut the angle off on the baseline, but a little late there, takes the legs out. That'll be an out of bounds.
Yeah, that baseline player on the 1-3-1 has to cover so much ground defensively. Sometimes you guess wrong in terms of where the player's going to stop. A volleyball line 3 for Menser that does not go. And a contested rebound. A jump ball, the arrow points the way of Norwell.
And Norwell so far in that 1-3-1, though, doing a nice job. You mentioned all the ground that has to be covered. They're doing it quickly, though. Previous possession, we saw them put the trap on there in the corner, and that's what they're looking for on the defensive end.
Hold going to be called. So Dugan commits the foul. So Dugan's first foul. Caroline Armstrong will check in. Mariah wears number 11. Caroline wears number 24. Norwell looking for their first points of the quarter. When in doubt, go to Rossworm, but her shot was deflected and off the hands of a Norwell player.
A great start to the quarter so far for Plainfield, doing a nice job on the defensive end. Obviously, we saw them get those first 2 buckets on the on the offensive end. There on the defensive end, though, really holding Norwell, doing a nice job there of limiting the options that Rossworm had.
Another turnover by Plainfield, their 8th. Just such active hands in that 1-3-1. But then Plainfield has given it right back, Norwell gives it right back.
Well, we talked about the hot shooting from behind the arc in the first quarter. This quarter, both teams turning the ball over. I thought in the first quarter they did a nice job taking care of the ball, especially Norwell. Plainfield settled in a little bit there, but really asserting their defensive effort now.
To me, the stat of the day is the fact that in the opening quarter of 16 field goals taken by Norwell, 13 were from behind the arc. Again, it's modern basketball. We'll stay here because that was a Norwell hand that went off last. Frankly, against Norwell, it's can you hang on the ball enough against that zone to make shots?
Yeah, can you move it? Can you find that, open space, open player, whatever it might be? And typically, as is the case against zones, usually one more pass will get you there.
It's that 1-3-1. You're going to find space in the corner. Question is, can you get the ball there? Norwell knows where you want to go and get pretty good ways of stopping it. Good extra pass. Leads that corner 3. Just doesn't fall. And touch last by Plainfield.
That's a good look there. Plainfield gets what they're looking for. I mean, again, open looks, you want to be taking those, just really not knocking them down quite yet. But, again, credit Norwell keeping Plainfield off the offensive boards as well.
How Plainfield guards Norwell is different. The overall MO, though, is very similar. Williams on the steal. And even though it was clean up top, Waldman kind of had a hand right on the hip of Williams going up. And that'll be 2 free throws for Berkeley Williams.
Yeah, Berkeley Williams is having herself an excellent afternoon on the defensive end. That time, able to turn it in to a drive, gets into the paint, see if she can make the free throws pay off.
And because Plainfield doesn't have a true big, they are probably better suited to guard Norwell in the half court than almost any team Norwell is going to see this year.
That's exactly right. But, in the half court, yes. Offensively, though, Plainfield wants to run, just because of that 1-3-1 trap that Norwell runs so well.
Williams makes 1 of 2, which is her MO. She's a 50% free throw shooter. So Plainfield has scored the first 5 points of the quarter. They still trail by 6. Now you're seeing Plainfield pick up the trap, and Plainfield gets the steal. Good recognition. Williams missed it. And that'll be a jump ball. And Niera will keep it right here.
Now, how about that heads-up play there? It was Shania Daniels was able to grab that rebound, picks the head up immediately, almost a baseball toss forward. Williams can't finish the lay-in, but that's the heads-up transition plays that Plainfield wants to find.
Williams, a contested shot, no. Williams averaging 12.5 a game, is just 1 free throw so far. Solfang probably had an opening, but looked outside instead. Trying to get Rossworm going on cue. Not that time. Swineford with the rebound, draws the foul. Does exactly what she is asked to do.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, really just doing a nice job there, boxing out. You see her really able, obviously, on the height advantage to dominate the paint, but they're doing a nice job drawing the foul as well.
Rossworm, nice play. Rossworm did a good job of no-selling that, didn't he? Didn't let her defender know the ball was heading her way. She's got 13. And we on ISC get a chance to see Indiana West on a regular basis. She will be an outstanding player at IWU.
Yeah, I do really think when you look at her, and especially where her game is at this point, she is an excellent fit for that IWU program.
She's got 15. Timeout called by Plainfield, and we will take it with them. 10-point lead at 23-13 midway through the second quarter. You're watching the 2025 Hall of Fame Classic on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Vanessa Rossworm with 15 points. Her team leads it by 10. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you on the ISC Sports Network. Again, Warsaw cruised to victory against Evansville Central in game number 1. 79-41 the final score in that one. That game was played with a running clock for the entirety of the second half.
This one looks to be obviously a little tighter going into halftime in the second quarter, but honestly, a bit of a tug and war back and forth for the momentum of this game.
Foul goes against Jada Dale. Menser just had a good look that wouldn't go, but rebound pulled down by Plainfield. Another shot from the elbow that was a little too strong.
And they came out hot from that first quarter break, and since then just trying to find something. Good look there, just not able to find the bottom of the net.
Saul Frank off the runner, no. And then Swineford commits the foul. Fourth team foul against Norwell. So no free throws just yet.
Good work there by Plainfield, able to get the position on the rebound and gets Swineford called for the over the back there. And that's important because Swineford has been really doing a nice job on the offensive boards for Norwell.
Plainfield is trying to find some offensive rhythm. Williams, no. And good heads-up play by Todd. She knocked the ball away and right to the hands of a player who was standing out of bounds. Norris returns as Waldman has a seat.
And Plainfield this quarter has played well enough defense that they could be back into this game, potentially even in the lead, but just not finding that offensive rhythm just yet.
They just can't buy a bucket. The slip to Dugan, who lost on the way up. And the game's been allowed to be physical because, frankly, that's how both teams play. There's not really an advantage there in one way or the other.
It's an excellent point. Yeah, I do think both teams have been able to be a little bit more physical on the block just because of what you said. They put this much pressure, whether it's a trap defense in the 1-3-1 or if it's down on the block. It's been a fun game to watch so far.
So Dugan commits the foul, her second. And a rider now will check back in for the Quakers. Quakers are doubling up this week. They have their own 4-team holiday tournament on Saturday. It's a pretty good list of teams. Zionsville, Wilmington South, and Lawrence North. So their strength of schedule is going to be just fine. Norwell turns it over for an 11th time.
That was what Coach was talking about at half, or excuse me, in the last timeout. He said, quit the silly turnovers. And they've continued so far for Norwell.
Great feed by Menser. Williams on the board. Her first field goal. One of the easier looks so far this game for Plainfield.
Haven't been many of them.
But Norwell will do that to you. Dale, 3, no. Rebound by Solfrank. She's fouled. So Macy Solfrank will shoot 2 free throws. Macy last year 14 points a game. This year 16 points a game. From the line, a 56% free throw shooter.
Yeah, Solfrank's always just been a really good energy player for Norwell. I remember them falling behind a little bit in that state game, and she came in, got some really important turnovers for them on the defensive end. Really just that spark plug type player.
Makes them both. First made free throws for Norwell, just attempts 2 and 3. Rossworm trying to force Plainfield to a certain side. Again, their quickness in terms of recovery is a sight to behold. Menser 3, no, but long rebound tracked down by Williams. Williams splits the defenders and again just couldn't finish.
Yeah, Berkeley Williams is doing a nice job of making her way through the paint. You're spot on there, just can't find the finish.
Good look by Waldman. Solfrank lines it up. Rebound by Rossworm, no, but another second chance look, really a third chance by Green, and Green will shoot 2.
Good job by Olivia Green, staying with the play and the rebound there, but we were just talking about Plainfield struggling to buy a basket. Now it feels like cold spell shifting a little bit Norwell's way as well, struggling from behind the arc this quarter.
Green on the season, a 56% free throw shooter. Last year, 3 points a game. This year, 4. Left that one short. Green, a junior. And again, great read. Playing almost free safety from the back of that zone. Just Norris couldn't hang on to it.
It's a great way to put it. She was sitting there waiting for that pass to come in.
Jump ball will go in the opposite direction. Since it's the holidays, that was almost a game of Yankee swap that was going on down there on the floor. You take the gift. Yankee swap, you take it back.
We're nothing if not festive here with our commentary.
Festivus is tomorrow, so get the grievances ready since you're not on the broadcast.
The airing of grievances.
Backdoor cut, extra pass, well designed, just couldn't finish the shot. And I believe it's going to be a foul on Caroline Pugh, which will lead to free throws here for Norwell.
Better ball movement that time by Norwell. A really nice entry pass into the post, and the foul there. See if a Green can get both of them this time.
This Norwell team is so good defensively that they can kind of overcome some bad nights offensively.
It's an excellent point. I mean, you know, I just made the point. It feels like the cold spell of shooting, passing over to Norwell. But with that being said, they're still ahead 13 because they can limit how much you do because of their defensive pressure.
Menser, a miss. Menser made a couple, but she's gone a bit cold from the floor. And Norwell averages allowing 33 points per game.
Yeah, that's a defensive number I think any coach in the country will take.
Team that has scored the most against them, and by no surprise, Warsaw put up 69 against them. And again, Warsaw, because of their guard play, as Armstrong misses a free throw, they have kind of the shooters where they can space out that zone and knock it down, and we are trending towards seeing a rematch of that game in a few hours. Armstrong misses them both. Touch last by Plainfield and Briley Todd.
And I do think Norwell matches up, you know, in terms of scoring depth with Warsaw. They might get it different ways. Obviously, both teams shoot it well from behind the arc, but I think both of the teams are dynamic in the fact that you can't just take away one player and expect to be in the game.
The drive, and no foul given. The Plainfield ball.
I'm not sure, you know, you might not call it a charge, but I think there's some sort of call to be made there.
I think they're going to say the defender never moved. Basically had established position.
Is that a charge then?
Well, the defender also didn't move. The offensive player repelled herself off of said defensive player.
That's fair.
Closing seconds of the half, and get another loose ball. Turn to the Oklahoma drill. 7 seconds left to go. Norwell trying to get one more bucket. Saul Frank, a desperation heave, is short, and that is the end of the half. Norwell leading Plainfield 28-15, a date with Warsaw in our championship game of the Hall of Fame Classic potentially awaits them. Halftime show comes your way next from Newcastle as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
And little volley, oh my goodness, what a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Oh my goodness. There we go, baby. Oh my goodness. Race to the other end, and he punches it down. Go. Walk in. Takes it in. Little energy, little. Not the entire game. Touchdown. He's got it. He's up. Still going. Throws it up, and Hooks will throw it down.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Brewer jams it home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half. Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness.
122-6-0 for Penn.
What a swim. Six of them.
It's not a team competition, just team support for the Jack's Donut Hole Eating Contest. Young fans representing Norwell and Plainfield. Not sure who has won the eating contest, but in the basketball contest, it is Norwell that enjoys a 28-15 lead. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you, and again, the story has simply been Norwell has made enough jump shots as both teams at times have struggled to hang on to the basketball.
Yeah, I think, Norwell has had the better momentum on the offensive end, but credit it the fact that they haven't allowed Plainfield to get anything really going defensively, which means that they've really struggled to get into any sort of rhythm. They've shut down Menser. Dugan's not doing too much as well. Really difficult for Plainfield to get anything going because of the defense that Norwell's been playing.
I think any team that plays Plainfield, if you hold Menser and Williams to 11 points in a half, you like your chances. That's exactly how it's played out here.
Absolutely, and it's not that Menser's played poorly. We saw her hit a couple shots early on, getting some touches down into the paint as well. But again, it's the swarming defense of Norwell, and even though they experience a little bit of a cold spell offensively, it's the defense that keeps them in there and keeps it ahead.
For Norwell, Rossworm has 15. She's kind of cooled off in quarter number 2. No other player has more than 5 points. But again, as we said earlier, it's their system. They are so good defensively they can kind of survive some dry spells like they had for a good chunk of the second quarter.
Yeah, and they have players that can almost break them out of that, too, that aren't named roster. I mean, we talk about Mixie Solfrank had a few nice looks, as well as Waldman. Swineford coming in and doing some nice things on the block for them as well. But it is sort of that system that you talked about that just keeps the other team down so much that it's just a matter of time before Norwell comes back and finds that rhythm again.
We had a second quarter without a made three-point field goal. Norwell went 0 of 4 from three-point range in quarter number 2. Plainfield went 0 of 8. At halftime, our score, Norwell 28 and Plainfield 15. Take a count timeout, come back with our first half highlights as you're watching the 2025 Henry Community Health Hall of Fame Classic right here on the ISC Sports Network.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hokies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Our score at the break, 28-15 in favor of Norwell over Plainfield. Greg Regstraw, Kristen Hazley with you. Let's show you our first half highlights as they fly by. Here are the scoring numbers in half number 1. For Norwell, Vanessa Rossworm with 15 points. 5 for Macy Solfrank, 3 each for Olivia Green and Ashley Waldman. 2 for Isabella Swineford. Addison Norris and Jada Dale both played but did not score. Norwell was just 9 of 28 from the floor, 5 of 17 from 3, and 5 of 7 from the free throw line. Plainfield led by the 8 points of Hannah Menser, 3 for Berkeley Williams, and a single bucket each for Shania Daniels and Mariah Armstrong. That is it. Caroline Pugh, Abrielle Dugan, Briley Todd, Emma Ryder both played but did not score. Caroline Armstrong also had brief minutes as well. The Quakers were 6 of 30 from the floor, 2 of 15 from three-point range, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Rebounds virtually even, 23-22. Although second chance points benefited Norwell by a margin of 9-3. Both teams had 11 turnovers in the half. However, points off turnovers pretty even as well. Plainfield had 7, Norwell had 5. Of those numbers, Kristen, what jumps off the page to you?
Well, I think you talk about not only the second chance points, obviously favoring Norwell, but I look at the quarter score breakdown, right? Norwell goes 19 against 8 in the first quarter. Second quarter, 9 and 7. So Plainfield really evening it up in that second quarter, and I credit that to Norwell's turnovers. So if Plainfield, I think, can keep that going, force some more turnovers, can you turn it into a few more points going the other way, I think this game tightens up a lot more.
Let's go back to game number 1. Again, Warsaw dominant. They put the running clock on Evansville Central by halftime, led that one 53-17. Lead briefly got north of 50 before Central scored the last few points of the game to make it 79-41. In that one, Brooke Zartman, 28, Jocelyn Bricker, 19. Warsaw went 12 of 27 from three-point range, and they forced 26 Central turnovers on 19 steals. Just your thoughts on what you saw from Warsaw in game number one.
They were impressive, and, they were scary impressive on the defense and offensive end. We hear about the three-point numbers. You look at a potential matchup against Norwell later on. How does that 1-3-1 match up against that many really good three-point shooters for Warsaw? I think that's appointment television, if you ask me.
So both teams back on the floor and getting ready for half number two. And our evening session starts at 6 o'clock. Same place as you are watching it now. Can be found for tonight. ISCSportsNetwork.com, IHSAATV.org. ISC's Twitter and YouTube available as well. Plainfield will have the basketball. 5 on the floor. Starting 5 for Norwell. Green, Norris, Waldman, Solfrank, and Rossworm. And all back from a season ago.
Yeah, that first half, I thought Addison Norris did a nice job of driving into the paint a few times. Really, though, not able to get up some high-quality shots there. I think if she can drive and kick, maybe then Norwell starts to find a few more threes falling in their way.
Mariah Armstrong good to start this half. That is one change for the Quakers. Williams on the drive and draws contact immediately. So Williams will shoot 2, and again, Plainfield just 1 of 4 from the stripe in the opening half.
I like the idea there from Williams starting to attack the paint a little bit more. Can you add something to Menser's shooting there that really makes Norwell think twice on defense?
Berkeley. Williams left it short. And Williams only a 50% shooter coming in. Williams and Pugh, the two seniors in this lineup, again for Plainfield. They have a lot of experienced players, but frankly, a lot of players that will come back next year as well. Little three-player weave here by Norwell. Rossworm just did keep her hand on top of it.
Yeah, it looks like Plainfield going back to a 2-3 zone.
Driving dish, that good-looking shot that Norris couldn't connect on.
It's a good job by Plainfield there just to clean up the boards. How many times do we see that second chance turn into an easy land, and that's just deflating there? So Plainfield doing a nice job off the half defensively.
And everything contested for Plainfield, and their 12th turnover. Norris, wild shot, blocked, but went right to a teammate. Green could not finish, and a foul on the floor. Looks like 2 on the way up.
Yeah, I think they'll get Caroline Pugh for that one there. And again, it's Norris doing a nice job getting into the lane. No call on the layup, but the secondary action there will send Olivia Green to the line.
Free throw is good for Green, and Green has all 4 of her points from the stripe. Green misses that one. Good quick hands, though, by Plainfield, as Dugan rips it away from Rossworm. Green now 4 of 6 in the stripe, and Rossworm with the kick. We've talked about the fact she is going to Indiana Wesleyan. And again, we on ISC are lucky enough we see IWU through Marion games. Our friends at Indiana Wesleyan actually having us produce some games for them these days as well. And she is going there because she is choosing to go there. I think she's frankly a Division I level player who's wanting to stay closer to home and play at a very high level at Wesleyan. Rossworm draws the foul and will shoot 2.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, Greg. Especially the development we've seen in her game from last year to this year, really becoming a more dynamic player. And I think with the height she's at, and potentially could add another inch or 2, but I think it fits well into that IWU system and into that level. She'll play some very high quality basketball, and we'll be lucky to have a front row seat to it.
Again, that league has started to send players on to the Division I ranks. In fact, from Indiana Wesleyan, Jordan Reed, now in her second year at Purdue Fort Wayne. She's one of the better players in the Horizon League. Nice find to Williams, but can she find a window to score? Unfortunately, she could not, but Possession maintained. Dugan heaves one up there that does not go. And steps called against Norwell.
Man, you feel for Addison Norris right now. She's hitting the ground, it seems like, every trip down the court, and it's an insane high level of effort. But, hey, you've got to have one of those players, especially to keep up the defensive effort that Norwell does.
Williams, runner, no. Again, Plainfield just struggling to buy a bucket. They've made 6 field goals so far in the game, and again, Norwell will do that to you. At the other end, Norris's shot left short. The flip side is Norwell is letting Plainfield hang around.
Well, and I think it comes down to both of these teams right now struggling to find the basket. Whether it's, I mean, we've seen good looks from both behind the arc, but neither able to really finish and put this game away.
Rossworm, what a block by Williams. Read that one perfectly. Simply put, can Plainfield cash in? And that'll be a jump ball. And the arrow will point in the opposite direction. Third Plainfield turnover of the quarter. Norwell opened the season by allowing 14 points to their first opponent. They have only allowed teams to cross 40 points in 3 games.
Yeah, we would need to see a big offensive explosion here from Plainfield to see that happen tonight.
And much like Plainfield, Norwell's doing a double-up tournament week as well, as Saul Frank left that one short. If you think Plainfield's tourney's great, how about this one? Norwell's going to Noblesville, where it's them, Snyder, and Valpo.
Oh.
Now, some would call that a Final Four, basically.
Yeah.
That's a push in the back on Menser.
You know, I love it, though. I mean, why not challenge yourself in this Christmas break here? You're usually having to contend with classes and some of those things. Let's go push the girls on their time off, see how they measure up, obviously, as you prepare for that final regular season straight and go into the postseason.
Ross Worm is stumbling. These two teams just scrapping out there. Menser finds a sliver of space.
That's big there by Hannah Menser. Plainfield was playing really well on the defensive end and just not seeing it pay off. Could that jumpstart something for the Plainfield offense?
Good read. That's Dugan. Dugan on the drive. No, but Riley Todd missed the putback. Frankly, Plainfield's kind of seeing shadows at this point. And offensive foul, yep.
Yeah.
Williams was waiting to take that one for the last 15 feet.
Yep, it's a good job by Berkeley Williams. She knew Rossman was going to try and drive. Easy call there for the referees.
Full timeout going to be taken by Norwell. We will take it with them. Halfway through this third quarter, Plainfield hanging around. Norwell leads it by 11. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And each and every week in podcast form, video form from the ISC Sports Network, we do Query and Schultz, brought to you by Bailey and Wood, the fine folks south side of Indianapolis, but serving all of central Indiana for the best mortgage rates.
And, of course, we record right here at Chilly Water Brewing Tap Room and our friends at Hoagies and Hops, 42nd and Boulevard, right here in Indianapolis. We're talking Colts, we're talking Pacers, we're talking Hoosiers, we're talking Boilers, and we're hanging with you.
We talk the tall and the short of it, right, is what we do.
Whatever, man. Every Tuesday night, 7:30, right here on the ISC Sports Network.
Thanks to Matt Martin, his outstanding staff here at the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame. Corey, Noah, everybody else involved. Kayla Kessler, too. Such a showcase event. Back-to-back days of hoops. Museum is always hopping on the 2 days of this tournament. Long two is good for Briley Todd.
And just like that, Plainfield shortens the lead to single digits coming out of the half. I mean, Norwell only getting 2 points so far.
First time that's been this close for a while. It's 13 at halftime. Saul Frank just backing her way down and scoring. Good move by Saul Frank, her second field goal.
Love it. Go back to basics. Find your way to the paint. A nice little turnaround jumper from Macy Saul Frank.
Again, every pass contested. It's going to be a foul called against Norwell. I've got that as 3 on Rossworm. And again, for as good as Norwell's scheme and system are, anybody that replicates her.
Exactly. She is their go-to scoring player as well as just an overall difference maker for them.
Menser misses everything. On the drive, Williams fouled. And if the shots aren't going, find a way to get to the line. That's what Plainfield's trying to do.
Yeah, and Berkeley Williams has done a nice job throughout this game of trying to find her way into the paint. You feel like both her and Addison Norris both doing a nice job of taking some contact and just not finishing a bunch. But this time, now she gets to the line, Williams does.
Williams now with 5. And going back to Rossworm with 3 fouls as Menser will get a brief respite. You can kind of hide her on the top of that 1-3-1. She can kind of control, hey, maybe I'm not playing the passing lanes as aggressively here.
Yeah, it's a great point. You'd obviously love to use her length in one of those positions, but you're exactly right. You can almost put her in a bit of a defensive bubble right there at the top of that 1-3-1.
Dale poked away, but Saul Frank tracks it down. Good takeaway.
And it's a good pass by Saul Frank there. Great read, but it just looked like it was Swineford maybe not on the same page.
You're a basket away from making this one interesting if you're Plainfield. Daniels fires and misses everything, but Williams is there. Williams is there, just her second field goal.
I don't even know if Williams was touched on that rebound. She was completely wide open on the backside to just lay that in.
Good drive and dish. Corner 3, no. Dale, the crash. Inevitably a jump ball with the arrow pointing in favor of the Quakers. Menser, as expected, sits for a possession or two, comes back in. Green returns, Norris returns. It's been a tight 7-player rotation that Norwell has played so far, which has been kind of Eric's MO. And again, playing his own, you can do that a little bit. And that's 4. So that's not only 2 free throws on the 15 foul, but that is a 4th foul against Norwell's best player. And with that, Haley Williamson now will check in for Rossworm, who will sit with 4 fouls, and this one just got a little closer.
Yeah, it felt obviously pretty close there as they get the lead down to 7, but now that evens it up just a little bit more. And now you play the game, how long can you go without Rossworm in your lineup if you're Norwell?
Dugan, a 71% free throw shooter. Misses them both. So an empty trip. So Williamson getting her first run of the game. Norris. Yes.
That's a big bucket there for Addison Norris. Just a nice little stop the bleeding there, settle things down for the Norwell Knights.
And then a steal. And then the easiest to finish is by Saul Frank. And a much needed cushion with Rossworm sitting with 4 fouls.
And that right there is the experience we talked about pregame, right? These teams have been in these tight positions over and back. Another turnover, and what a response from Norwell. It just comes from that experience and level.
So often you will hear coaches talk about saying you generate offense with your defense. Norwell is wired to do exactly that.
100%, and it's, like we keep saying, it's why they can survive a cold shooting spell here or there, is because they can rely on their defense to not only hold the other team, but create some easy looks like we just saw.
Berkeley Williams the foul, her second. Team foul number 4, so no free throws off of that.
Jay's open, give it to her.
Looks like she did an ankle there. Got up, no problem.
And Saul Frank carrying the basketball.
Bit of a break there for Plainfield because Saul Frank had the defender split, was looking for the far pass to an open 3 look.
The whole time.
So both teams now with 16 turnovers. So it's Dale that now plays the top of that 1-3-1 zone.
And Dale doing a nice job there, just moving her feet. You see how quick she is as Norris comes over to cut that passing angle, and that's the difference there. Rostrom just not moving the feet quick enough.
And again, because Plainfield have great height, the players almost can kind of see over that zone. And uniquely, kind of Warsaw's in the same boat, but they solved it for 69 points when they played earlier this year. And the hook going to be called against Berkeley Williams.
Yeah, credit Jada Dale there. Does a nice job of just moving those feet so quickly that there's no choice but to go for the hook to try and get around. Good call by our referee crew here.
Saul Frank, the offensive leader, with Rossworm sitting with 4 fouls. But if you're Norwell, you don't need to be in a big hurry. Got an 11-point lead. Make Plainfield chase you a little bit.
I think you're spot on there. Obviously, this Norwell team, we mentioned not a ton of height, so if you can find an easy bucket in transition, great. Otherwise, take your time, work it, and find a good look.
And clearly 5 ball handlers on the floor for Norwell. Norris on the drive, doesn't go. Rebound corralled by Daniels. Shot does not go. Dale the take. Green fouled, and it'll be 2 free throws. Well, it has not been the offensive execution we saw from Warsaw in game number 1, but 2 teams that live on what they do defensively, and right now Norwell with an 11-point lead.
Yeah, and I think, we see this last trip down the court for Plainfield on the offensive end. Abrielle Dugan with a nice wide-open look from corner, and we would typically highlight her and consider her as one of those key pieces for Plainfield, and just a bit of a quiet night for her. Obviously offensively, but defensively, using her height is one thing she can do a lot of good for this Plainfield Quakers team.
And connects on both. Green now 6 of 8 from the line. She will check out as Swineford comes back in. And they will put her in the middle of that 1-3-1 zone. Lead back to 13, which it was at halftime. And off Daniels' hands.
And you see right away, you called it, Isabel Swineford, that middle of the 1-3-1, just hanging out about that free throw line. And when she puts those hands up, it looks just like a very, very tight window to find anywhere to go with the ball.
Jump ball. Stay here. Both teams with 10 points here in the quarter. Hugh will come in. Reference both teams having a 4-game tournament or team tournament coming up on Saturday. Clock at 6. Not sure Norris realizes it. She does now. Shot was partially blocked. Armstrong got her hands on it, and that is the end of the quarter. Norwell keeping Plainfield at bay. 38-25. Winner against Warsaw in our championship game tonight. You're watching on ISC. And that'll volley, oh my goodness. What a touch for the goal. Jumped over by Lawrence North, and they'll score on it. Oh my goodness. Many thanks to Jordan Shue and Charlie Hammock for their hard work on this Monday morning. Greg Rakestraw, Kristen Hazley with you. Kelsey Casper, Jane Schott will have the evening session beginning at 6 o'clock. Central takes on the team that has the toughest turn to lose the late morning game and play about 4 hours later in this case. Winner gets a little bit of an extra respite, but the bad news is you got to play Warsaw in the championship game, who made 12 threes, had 19 steals, and dispatched of Central with ease, 79-41.
I think your best hope, I'd say it jokingly, but can they do it twice in a game? In one day, can Warsaw have two outstanding shooting days in one night? And, honestly, they probably can. But I think this Norwell defense makes it a little tougher. Again, I think that could be some really good appointment television for you this evening.
Menser got tied up, and the arrow will go the other direction. 19th Plainfield turnover. Again, if it is Norwell and Warsaw, it is a rematch of a game at Warsaw that the Tigers won 69-55 in the opening week of the season. And Norwell gives it away. Their 17th turnover.
Yeah, and we knew that the Norwell defense would force Plainfield into some uncharacteristic turnovers for them. We didn't anticipate it would limit the scoring and really the offensive movement that it has as much as it has for Plainfield.
Menser will pull from 15. Good look.
Great look.
Heads up play by Hannah. She's got 13, her second field goal of the half. Getting stops has not been the problem for Plainfield. It's been getting buckets to support it. And again, Ross Worm sits with 4 fouls, and frankly, you've got the luxury, if you're Norwell, to keep sitting her as long as your lead is hanging around 10 points.
Yeah, I mean, if you can sit her potentially even the rest of the game, we just talked about the doubleheader aspect of this tournament and having to play this evening.
Steele, Armstrong, and Armstrong lays it up and in. 9-point game.
And that's what they missed. Plainfield was doing a nice job defensively, but turning the turnovers into points was really the big piece that they missed in the first half.
Good rebound by Swineford. The 3 does not go. Saul Frank with the putback, and Williams is fouled. Dale will come back in and give Norris a breather. Might be a bucket away from having to bring Ross Worm back if you're Norwell.
Sounds about right. It's already probably a little close for their comfort. And with Plainfield grabbing some of the momentum as well, just trying to be careful with that lead.
Plainfield, you mentioned their 3 losses. Their best win of the season might have been their opening game of the year. They beat Lily Graves and McCutcheon at McCutcheon 58-56. You saw them on Saturday in a 5-point loss to Floyd Central.
That was another team that flew around defensively, were excellent in transition, and that Floyd Central team they stayed solid, nothing too flashy, and just down the stretch able to get a couple more stops and buckets to take that one.
It's not rare to see a team play zone. It's almost rare to see both teams play zone in a game. Steal by Plainfield, and a foul against Norwell.
There she goes.
Here comes Ross Worm back in the game. We have the luxury of sitting next to the Norwell bench, so we had that for anybody else in the building did.
Exclusive.
There was this blue blur that went right by us. Time to get the cooler back in the game if you're a Knights fan.
And again, just to the success factor, they win the 3A, have to go up to the 4A, and how well they've been playing without really, doing anything differently. That's just a well-coached, well-disciplined team that can say, okay, we just have to up the level of what we're doing to do it better.
Well, oftentimes you go up a level, but the class that got you there graduates. Uniquely for Norwell, everybody comes back. Good hands by Dale. And Dale, again, is tied up. Had nowhere to go. Love the sportsmanship by Armstrong to help her up. So the ball will stay right here.
And Jada Dale has just been all over the place defensively. Loved her hustle there, playing the top of that zone as well as there, getting down for the ball.
Basket cut by Briley Todd. Last 6 points belong to the Quakers. Rossworm plays with 4. Good job by Saul Frank to split the trap. Norrison all by her lonesome. Missed it. But then Williams off her foot.
Yeah, Briley Todd and Berkeley Williams pulling Plainfield back into this with some of their defensive play, hoping not to be plagued by what we just saw there, being able to hold Norwell and then not transition and convert on the other end.
If I am Warsaw and Evansville Central, I am smiling at the intensity of this game. Because these two teams are going to have some serious recovery to do to play in the night session.
No doubt about it. Defensive pressure is just ramped up, if anything.
And Rossworm is fouled by Williams. So Williams, I believe that'll be her 4th foul, and that is correct. First foul of the quarter against Plainfield. Rossworm 3, and that hit the basket support. You mentioned Norwell playing up. Nobody in basketball has won the largest class playing a class up. It has happened in volleyball. Yorktown has done it a couple of times. They have been now in 4A for the last decade. Steal by Norwell. Rossworm got fouled. That time the player trying to take the charge, and Riders kept leaning into the path of Rossworm. They'll say it's Todd on the shot, and Rossworm will shoot 2.
Yeah, and to that point, I love when we get to see some of those 3A, whether it's a 3A state champion play up into the 4A and see how those do the next year. One thing I love about it is it really dispels the myth that there's this big, difference between some of these larger and smaller schools. Now, obviously, you look at a 4A and a 1A, yeah, you're going to see more significant differences, but it's similar to when I call like a Division I versus an NAIA school. Very similar levels that just almost have a stigma of being very, very different.
First points of the quarter for Norwell. Still an 8-point lead. Dugan for 3. Got it. 39% three-point shooter. And at 5, this is as close as this has been in some time. And a timeout taken by Norwell. It is a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. This 30-second timeout presented by Nathan Begley of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. With a dedicated Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance agent like Nathan Begley to help guide you through the insurance process, you'll never have to go it alone. Talk to Nathan in person, online, or over the phone at 317-507-7871 or stop by his office at 9821 East US Highway 36 in Avon. Nathan Begley and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Let's insurance together. Now to a 2-possession game with 4:53 left to go.
Not much has really changed in terms of, defensively, what both teams are doing. It's kind of what we talked about at halftime a little bit, where Plainfield's just now able to convert some of those defensive turnovers into some points for them, starting to hit some shots there. We saw Dugan nail that last 3-pointer, and they had been looking for her to kind of step up all afternoon. So, again, that's really sort of been the difference here in this quarter.
Menser on the trap. Saul Frank. Tied up. Arrow keeps it here.
And I do not expect the defensive effort or intensity to go down at all in these next 4 minutes and 45 seconds.
Rossworm into the backcourt to track it down. And they're trying to get the ball out of her hands immediately. And Plainfield really has picked up the intensity in terms of the double team.
And you said it, they want anyone but Rossworm to beat them. If the ball's in her hands, she can expect to be doubled immediately. But with that being said, this last time now they were able to find the open pass there. Typically 1 or 2 open players for Norwell.
Timeout taken by Norwell, and we will take it with them. 4:32 to play, and this one, 29-34. Norwell's lead is down to 5 as you're watching on ISC.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
4:32 to play. It's down to a 5-point game. Kristen, what is the difference in this final 4:32?
Well, I mean, so far it's just been Plainfield finally able to find some offense. You know, both teams still playing some nice defense. Norwell's 1-3-1 not as dominant as it was in the first half. And credit Plainfield knocking down some shots to get back into this one.
Ball was tipped away, so hence Rossworm can go track it down. Saul Frank for 3, no. And good. Couldn't hang on. Touch last by Norwell. I was going to say, great rebound by Ryder.
Well, and you see what they're doing here. Plainfield's basically going for broke, going for that trap at the top of the key there. Someone's going to be open. That time it was Macy Saul Frank. Can't knock down the 3. That could be your chance to seal it, though, if you're Norwell.
Menser, 3, yes. 2-point game. She's got 16. That's her 4th 3.
We said it. Defensively, both of these teams were playing fantastic in the first half. Another silly giveaway there by Norwell, and all of a sudden Plainfield finds some shot-making abilities, finding their rhythm, and it is a 2-point game.
The last time Plainfield led, it was 6-3. A 2 to tie, a 3 to take the lead this time down. I wouldn't be leaving Menser if I'm Norwell. Finds a sliver of space, left that one short. Rossworm, the rebound. Rossworm on the attack, trying to beat the defense down the floor. Good look that would not go. And another held ball. This one goes the way of Plainfield.
And that's a nice job there defensively on the block by Emma Ryder. She goes step for step with Vanessa Rossworm and just able to find the real estate that forces her outside. Makes that lay-in a bit more difficult there.
Tough pass. Again, it's tough to get that through so many hands. 2-point lead in the ball for Norwell. Norwell has 1 point this quarter. They still have 1 point, but Norris can add to that from the line.
Addison Norris has been finding her way into the paint all afternoon. That time she gets to the line. Big free throws coming up here to see if she can steady the ship for Norwell.
Norris on the season. 15 of 30 from the line coming into today's game.
I was not good at math, but I'm pretty sure that's 50%.
I am good at math, and yes, that is 50%. Norris connects. Dale will have a seat. And Swineford will go in there, and Norwell will get a little bit bigger. Norris makes them both. Senior's got 4 points.
Yeah, and Swineford go back to the middle of that 1-3-1, really become a tall, difficult obstacle to get through.
Williams again just tough for the 5'6" senior to finish on the 6-foot post. And Williams knocked it away, but could not keep it in play.
I like that substitution there for Norwell, getting Swineford back in, because Briley Todd and Berkeley Williams were starting to find their way to the hoop a little too easily. I think that's a great defensive move there for Norwell.
Saul Frank was almost stunned. She had so much open room on her side of the floor. Saul Frank on the drive. Good look. Swineford missed it. That was a well set up play, just didn't convert.
It's a beautiful drive in by Saul Frank. She draws the defenders, just can't knock down the easy one.
Ryder misses everything wide right. Saul Frank read that immediately. And again, if you're Norwell, you're not trying to go fast. You're trying to beat the defense down the floor, which leads to a look like that from Norris.
Yes, and that was big time by Addison. Norris had not hit a three-pointer all day. Gets a big one there, much needed for Norwell.
Well, Norris on the season from three-point range, a 30% shooter. Connects on that one, Plainfield. It is a full timeout, so let's briefly step aside. Back in 30 seconds on the ISC Sports Network.
Brewer jams it home. That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net. A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn. What a swim. Six of them.
Get a reminder, the evening session begins at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Evansville Central takes on the team that falls a bit short in this one. Winner gets Warsaw in the championship game. By the way, a stat that I didn't get to use in the morning game. This is the third time that Warsaw has played in this event. They're 5-0 in it. They have won the previous two times they have been here. And because you get extra games, it's the only event like that in the state. You get to play 2 extra games if you play here. You're only allowed to play in this once every 4 years. It truly is an honor to be selected to play in this event. Just as it is an honor for us to broadcast on ISC for a 7th time in the last 8 years.
Absolutely. This tournament means so much for basketball historians and players and coaches everywhere, and what a cool opportunity to be in this building for a great game.
Foul called as Briley Todd will shoot 2. She is 8 of 12 from the line this season. Todd with 4 points, averages 5 a game. And connects.
You know, no matter which way this game goes, I think it's hard to draw any really solid conclusions about either team from it because they've both played really well. And I think a hot shooting night by either team, this game goes the complete opposite way.
Todd makes them both. 5-point game. Full court pickup by Plainfield. Plainfield does have a foul to give. Has to be, Williams has to be careful. She has 4. Can't be her. But you can be aggressive here if you're the Quakers. And it may be layup o'clock here for Norwell. Saul Frank tied up, but the arrow will keep it here.
It's Berkeley Williams again, just the defensive intensity. Anytime that ball is exposed, she's going to go and try and get the jump ball there, obviously trying to steal the possession back here towards the end.
Swarm right in front of us, right through Saul Frank's hands. Both teams north of 20 turnovers. The pull by Todd. Wasn't a bad shot. Couldn't get it to go, and Williams went crashing in, and she fouls out. So no free throws coming up here, but on Williams, that'll be her 5th.
Might not show it on the stat sheet tonight or this afternoon for Berkeley Williams, but she was just a spark plug all day defensively and on everything. She's not scared of the bigger girl out there, and she just put on a nice effort on both ends of the ball.
Norris wanted to throw it long. So settle for Green right in front of her. Norris weaving through traffic, got fouled. So free throws coming up for Norris, who just made 2. And on the season, as you mentioned, was 50% coming in.
And this is those moments where it really pays to have a team of ball handlers, if you will, having to break that full court press, trying to just make some free throws to secure this one. Again, it's, one it's hard to pull very many conclusions from, except that both these teams are really good.
Norris makes them both. Looking for an advantage to decide this one. Free throws might be it. 3-score game with 80 seconds left to go. Armstrong. Menser a deep three. No. Good rebound by Norris. Kurt Benj puts his hands together. He knew that was a good look. They needed to fall, and now Plainfield will commit the foul.
And it's a good look. I mean, you can't really ask for much more if you're Hannah Menser or the Plainfield Quakers. Good ball movement that time to find her open at the top of the key, and just one that she, typically is a good chance she'll knock that down. A great afternoon from her, though, in other realms.
Well, strength of schedule normally isn't an issue when you are a 4A school in the Indianapolis area, but Plainfield has augmented that one significantly this year. This is another step in that direction. Back to an 8-point game. It got down to 2. It was as close as the Quakers got it. Hands by Saul Frank. Finds Ross Worm. Then Plainfield gets it right back. Armstrong, yes, timeout. Armstrong with 6. So 30-second timeout taken here by Plainfield. But to issue my point, we were talking about the great tournament these two teams are both playing in on Saturday. Plainfield says, let's play Hamilton Southeastern a week after that. And then they're in the Hendricks County tournament. So Plainfield fans, there's a very good chance we have your team again at Danville on January the 10th. Plainfield was drawn into the semifinals, that 16 tournament. They can beat Avon or Cascade, which frankly they should. They would then likely play Brownsburg in the championship game, which can be seen on MyIndy TV and ISC. Saturday night, January the 10th at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, Coach Benj knows what he's doing with those schedules. Obviously not inexperienced in this realm at all, but knows that what matters down the stretch is playing your best basketball and making sure you're doing it at the right time in that postseason tournament.
And listen, Ben Davis and Brownsburg are solid, and Ben Davis already has beaten Plainfield. Plainfield knows you got to find a way to beat Pike. That's the bar right now. Rossworm, and now the foul is being given as Norris took a tumble. And Norris has made all 4 free throws in this game.
Better than her 50% average.
Free throws coming up. Habercorn will come in as Menser just gave her 5th foul. And Menser and Williams now have fouled out. Rossworm 3 of 6 in the line. Saul Frank 2 of 5. Was there a lane violation?
I think there is.
Yep. So Norris won't get a second free throw. So an empty trip leaves the door open for Plainfield. And no Menser, no Williams. Now where does the offense come from for the Quakers? And it's a turnover, but then taken back by Daniels, who finds Armstrong, who scores a timeout Plainfield. Armstrong with 8. Daniels has been very impressive in this game.
Yeah, I thought Shania Daniels looked really good in some moments in the first half, but this second half, she's really come alive. You see here just the steal, and what an excellent vision. High IQ there, finds a nice bounce pass. Easy there from Mariah Armstrong. You're just laid in for 2.
So back to a 4-point game.
I mean, you raised a great question there, with Menser out as well as, Williams. Who's your shooter? Who's your go-to here for some of these moments?
And a full day of basketball tomorrow on the ISC Sports Network, the boys event. Featuring Mount Vernon, Silver Creek, Northview, and Crown Point. Also tomorrow, Outstanding girls event that Lawrence Central is putting on. Can be seen for free as well, the Cross-State Clash. That features teams from various states, but the Indiana squad's playing. Fort Wayne Snyder, Pike, and Lawrence Central. In fact, you'll be there for game number 1, correct?
I will.
And your game at 1 o'clock is?
It's a great question.
Putting you on the spot, huh?
Yeah, you really did. And I'm worth break.
River Rouge and Male?
River Rouge, yep, and Male.
And Rossworm fouled and immediately helped back up by Plainfield. Rossworm will shoot 2. And I'll explain something to you. Wait a minute. It's a girls' basketball event. They're playing a high school called Male. Allow me to explain.
Please.
We had this conversation like with Evansville Central in the last game, being one of the oldest high schools in Indiana. Well, Male was founded in 1856, which at the time was a boys' school. But no longer been the case, and hence the name stayed. So a co-ed school is named Male in the heart of Louisville, Kentucky.
They're the male females? Is that the girls' team?
They're the
name?
Bulldogs, actually.
All right,
like
the male Bulldogs.
Kind of like the Greenwood Lady Woodman, right? Sometimes
Fair enough.
Rossworm, again, not great from the free throw line today. But she's been outstanding in all their aspects of the game. Todd's runner rolls off the rim. Put back by Pugh is good, but Plainfield is out of timeouts. 48-45. Daniels gives the foul, and again, Norwell just had to play keep away, knowing that Plainfield couldn't stop it again.
Yeah, at this point, really banking on Norwell, missing some free throws and hoping you can get one last look at it.
Saul Frank to the line, where she is 2 of 2 today. And basically, all she needs to do is make 1, and this game is over. Saul Frank on the season. 15 of 25 from the line. Missed it. Makes it. That's all you need.
Yep.
Just back off if you're Norwell, and you have survived this one. Plainfield gives quite a battle as Todd misses a final shot. But Norwell, led by as many as 13, they win it 49-45. Norwell will get their rematch with Warsaw coming up at 7:45 this evening. Plainfield has the quick turnaround. They'll take on Evansville Central at 6. Kristen, final thoughts on this one?
Hey, another great game, obviously, in this Hall of Fame Classic, and an excellent matchup that showed some of the defensive firepower we've seen from Norwell as well as Plainfield. Both teams walking away with some things to work on as well as some positives. Really, I think the biggest positive is the matchup we'll have tonight, Norwell versus Warsaw.
I am positive we'll be back, not you and I, but Kelsey Casper and Jane Schott will have the finale for you coming up at 6 o'clock. For Kristen Hazley and our entire ISC Sports Network team, this is Greg Rexstraw. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon. We'll talk to you at 6 o'clock from Newcastle, from the largest and finest high school field house in the world, right here on the ISC Sports Network.